So today we're going to have a look at a great new program called Adobe Edge. And what we love about this is it will allow us to create little animations that are contained in HTML5. And that is, of course, visible with all mobile devices. So that's what we're aiming for nowadays. Now, as we look at the interface here, we see that it is very similar to the Flash interface. You have a stage here. Your keyframes are going to be right in here. This is going to be your properties channel right here. And we don't need these, just get rid of that. And this is where we're going to be keeping our symbols. So what we're going to do is a very simple animation. We're going to import a little ping file, which is a transparent graphic file, and have it move around a bit. So we're going to go to File, Import. I have a little ladybug on my desktop. There he is, pretty big. So I'm going to size him down by pressing down the Shift key, moving him about, and I can put him anywhere I want. I'm going to start maybe over here, maybe make him a little bit smaller, something like that. And let's see if I can get him to rotate a little bit. No, all right. Well, that's fine. We can also rotate him over here. This is your properties panel, so this is where you mess with your stuff. You can scale things this way. You can also move things this way, although I don't necessarily recommend it. And you can, of course, rotate things this way. So we're going to have him buzz in and buzz out. This is going to be our start position. And as you can see, we have a little starting keyframe right down here at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to just move this over. And you can see by the stage that this is your object here. So we're going to move him over. This is going to be our start position. Then we're going to move this keyframe all the way over here and buzz him in. All right, so we have our start position right here in the bottom corner, and what we're going to have him do is kind of fly over to the top corner there. So we have our start position. We see that the keyframe is starting here, and he's starting to record where we're moving him because I have this clicked in. And if I have this disengaged, then it will not record. So we want to make sure that this is always clicked in, and then whatever we do will be recorded in our keyframe mode. So this is our start position. I'm going to move this player bulb over here to maybe a couple seconds in. And I'm going to put him in his next position over there. He's going to now fly in a straight line from one side to the next. And you can see that he's starting to have a keyframe animation, what we call in Flash a tween. And if we play, we can see, there he goes. Now that's a little boring. I think we can do better than that. We're going to have him maybe do a little rotation or so. So we're going to have him go right over here. And let's see, I'm going to rotate him a little bit. And then over here, I might move him over here and rotate him a little bit more. And let's just see what that does. You see how now we have another layer coming in. This is the rotation layer. He's going to be rotating during these keyframes here. And that does it automatically. So we're going to take it all the way back and play it. Here he comes buzzing in. I think we can do better than that. Let's just make one more rotation thing right here in the middle so we can really be a buzzing bee. Take it all the way back, have a play, zippy zippy. It's not perfect, but it'll do for our purposes, I think. And just for fun, we are going to have an alpha channel come in and out. So right at the beginning, he's going to have a 0 alpha, okay? So we're going to set his alpha here. We look for that over here. Alpha should be at 100. There you go. And now we're going to have him come in at 0. All right, so now you have an alpha channel. And then if we go a little bit over here, we're going to have that alpha come in to 100. So you can see that that's a whole new channel. That's a whole new layer being set up because every time you do any kind of adjustment, something will get added to the keyframe layer. So we're going to have the same thing over here. He's going to be at 100 here. And there's an easier way to do this. I can add a keyframe by using my right mouse click. And here all these options pop up for me. So I'm going to have an opacity here because I know that I'm going to be changing it from 100 to 0. Here we go, all the way to 0. So now when we play it, it comes in and it kind of fades in and out. Now you can't see that fading in and out because it goes too quickly. So maybe what I do is I have to move him around a little bit so you can really see what's happening. Rotation, a little bit more bug-like. And go to that first frame. Maybe he just needs to come in like this. And maybe he needs to rotate a little bit more so he looks a little more buggy. Let's give this a try now. Whoa, that's really crazy. But you get the idea. You get the idea. You might have to make it even better. But you can see keyframe, this is one movement. Another one, which we're going to move over here. And then we're going to move this one over here. We're going to rotate them the other direction. This one goes over here. And we're going to turn them all the way around. And you can keep playing with this until your animation is exactly the way you want it. This is an art, not a science, as you can see. So here we go again. That's a little bit better. A little strange, but okay. That's good enough for me for this purpose because we are just learning here. And we're going to preview it. There you go. Now that's a little HTML5 right there. So that's nice about this. This will be able to be seen on every single mobile device we want. Okay. So let's go ahead and publish it. We're going to have a look at creating what's called a deployment package. So not an HTML as such, but we're going to have a file that we can put into an HTML document. Okay. So we have saved this now. As an HTML file on the desktop. We're going to call it bug HTML. Save it. There we go. Well, I've already saved it. So here we go. Then we're going to look at our publish settings. And what we're going to do is create something called an OAM file. And this is the little package that we need to build into our HTML. So if you see here, there are, in the publish settings, you have a couple of options. Save it for web or save it as an OAM. That looks good to me. I've saved it. And then I'm going to publish it. There you go. And then I have a look at my desktop. And here he is, the OAM file. And this little guy can be pulled right into an Adobe Muse file as a graphic. That's the size that you wanted it to be. In this case, we have a document size of 550 by 400 right here. You can see that. And that's the size that the OAM file is going to be. So if I go ahead and look at the HTML file that has been exported, here's my HTML, that looks good. And the OAM file I can export straight into Adobe Muse. Thanks very much for listening. Bye now.